Hi guys, Justin here from Comic Sense QC. Let's talk about the hottest thing in comics right now.
I have no intro music. This is what you get.
Justin, the captain of the guard.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a beautiful Thursday out there. It's almost 3 o'clock here. Just got back from the store. Everybody knows I only work half days because I rock. Anyway, something awesome happened this week. Picked up a collection. And as normal, I got to take some pics out of there myself for the work that I do. And I picked up this bad boy. This is G.I. Joe Special number 1. G.I. Joe Special number 1 is a very interesting book. Back before he was super popular, Todd McFarlane, who did a lot of Spider-Man, he did a lot of covers for Marvel, and he's most famous, of course, for leaving Marvel, starting up the Image comic company and creating Spawn, which anybody my age knows about. This book, he drew for Marvel before he was really, really good, and they decided to not go with it. It was one of the issues, I think it might have been in the 60s. But when he got huge and famous with Spider-Man, they thought we could capitalize on this, so they got somebody to draw a cover that looks a lot like those Spider-Mans behind my head. And then they published his book as a special, but it really was just the work he did for a regular issue. There's nothing special about it. But it's an expensive book. And a lot of people, not me, think that your Joe collection isn't complete unless you have this book. And I've never wanted to spend the money because this mother comes raw. Mint copy raw. People want anywhere from $240 to $250, sometimes more for this book. And I'm not paying that. And I didn't. So that's what we're here to talk about today. The game. And first, I'd like to talk about why I was inspired to do this video today. I went on Facebook because I'm on a G.I. Joe comic collectors group on Facebook. A lot of members. Everybody likes to show off what they get. And then we as fellow members go, high five, like, heart, smile, wow, whatever it is. You support them because, we're all nerds. We got to stick together. So I post my picture on Facebook and I say, hey, perks, why I manage a comic store. Never pay full price for anything. And this baby, not a penny, winning. And that winning was for Charlie Sheen. He's got his documentary and I started watching that. So winning. But what interesting was what came shortly after was, lots of hearts, lots of likes. Because, we need that validation. Still more things are coming in and I'm sure I've got more. So this guy says, nice show off post, which is what we all do. You are fortunate to own a comic store, which I don't, with the ability to rip people off with a smile. Thanks for posting. Now, I don't rip off anybody. It's not a practice I engage in. I don't like being ripped off myself. I am a businessman. So I respond to this rude individual. I'm not going to call him names. Terry Duran's rude. You're going to call me out? I'm going to call you out. One, I don't own the shop. I don't. I work for a gentleman who owns the business, and we have a small arrangement. I am a volunteer. I didn't rip off anyone. This comic came in a collection that the seller was bringing to me 4 boxes at a time, and I was paying him a fair amount for the books he was bringing me. Like any job, I have perks. And when I buy a collection, as long as I'm tripling the investment, I have the option to pick out things that I want for myself. And that's the deal. That's it. That's a fair deal. Anybody would make that deal. Number 3, perks of the job mean when I buy a collection, I get first pick. And that's just natural. Maybe ask questions for making assumptions. I tried to be nice. It didn't go so great. We got, let's see here. Terry, we got Terry's friend Clint. I'm guessing they're buddies in the best way. Yeah, this guy doesn't own the shop. He's jockeying a register. Yes, that's right, Clint. 49 years old. My wife is a successful executive. I am retired, running an entire comic business that I don't have to put my own money behind. Got anything else you'd like to add? And then this guy, so collections get cherry picked before going up for sale at your shop. Okay. And then this guy, Sean, in reality, I'm sure that happens at every shop. It does. I don't know a single comic guy out there who runs a store. When going through a collection he purchases to sell at his store, doesn't go, oh, I don't have that one. It's mine now. That's the game. That's part of life. Why do you own a comic shop if not to add things to your collection? Why run a comic shop if you don't work that part into your deal? You're not allowed to be a collector. And I've had some of these problems in the past. I've had to explain to a couple of people, listen, you come to my store and I've had a couple guys that I've let them peek through a collection before I had a chance to go through it, separate it, organize it, price it, to finalize, but they've peeked through it and see what came in because they're friends of mine. And I've had to stop allowing that because sometimes they'll see a book they want. And when I put the collection out for sale, they go, where's this book? And I'm like, well, it's at home in my box because I wanted it. And then they look at me kind of disgruntled. I'm like, what do you want from me? I'm a comic collector. It's one of the reasons I do this. If I didn't collect comics, I would get another job that paid more. It's a very simple exchange. So this goes on, and we go back and forth. I'm gonna stop sharing this because there's no reason to constantly talk about these people. Let's talk about the game, okay? If I buy a collection and I don't have these books like G.I. Joe Special #1 or The First Appearance of Carnage, or Second Appearance Carnage reprint. I like Marvel reprints. I don't know why. I just think they're cool. Or which is not a very expensive book, but the second appearance of Deadpool, X-Force #2. If I don't have those books in my collection, and I can make the store a ton of money on what I spend on a collection, then those become mine. That's the arrangement. And I had guys not yelling at me, but trying to make me feel bad that that's what I was doing. An employee does not make a lot at these stores. The owner does not make a lot at these stores. So you have to have balance in life. You have to have trade-off. So the advantage to working at one of these stores is not the paycheck. It's the opportunity of acquiring things that you might not have had. I have a New Mutants 98, which is first appearance Deadpool. I lost that book years ago when I sold my collection as a teenager. Now I have one. There's a lot of books in these boxes behind me. There's some special boxes over there you guys don't get to see. And those books, the shit on the shelf behind me, a lot of that came from the advantages of my job. Now, granted, I'm not going to sell all that and retire, but as a hobbyist, a comic hobbyist, it's fun for me. I mean, how dare I? How dare I? How dare I? How dare I acquire something from my collection? I am a beast. I'm a troglodyte. I'm a lepton, and other fancy words that you'll have to look up later. But you have to know that when you go into a comic store, the employees and the owner are going to acquire books for their collection. And if you don't get it, then I can't help the fact that you don't get it. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you like what I have to say or you know somebody who would, please like, share, and subscribe and click that little notification bell. That way when I make a video, you never miss it. Thanks.